This writing trap, number 2, is called the Iceberg Model. If we look at this graphic, I used the Iceberg Model to represent imbalanced writing. It's far more than that, but this serves as a simple representation. This particular arrangement demonstrates the most common writing flaw I see, and that is people spend too few words on the action component. These are performance statements. You need to spend time to describe what you're actually doing. Let's look at an example of an imbalanced writing style. Here we see prepped BCA, secured corporate approval for $10 million manpower reorg. BCA, business case analysis. If we look at it in the levels, you can see that the words prepped BCA are really at the membership level. If they're not membership, if I had to choose with the 2 levels concept, I would even call it fluff. And then secured corporate approval for a huge reorg, that sounds pretty darn strong. Management, maybe someone might even think that's leadership. If we think of the toss concept, this is a bridge too far, because you're saying you secured approval for this huge reorg, but I don't know what you even did. Let's go back and look at the model. Prepped BCA. There's the arrangement. Just a couple of words in the action and it goes straight to a result. Prepped is ambiguous. That word offers very little value. Prepped could mean, and I asked an audience before, they say the individual built slides or coordinated on a proposal, reviewed materials. I actually interviewed the person who performed that accomplishment. And what prepped really meant was that she led monthly meetings. She negotiated with stakeholders. She conducted risk analysis and developed 3 courses of action. And it was a year-long project for this major reorg. Oh my gosh, a year-long project dumbed down to the word prepped. I had no idea that prepped meant a year's worth of work. Let's look at the Iceberg model again. And what this bullet might have looked like was led year-long project, ran monthly meetings, conducted risk analysis to develop 3 courses of action. This leader's negotiation with stakeholders secured corporate approval for a $10 million manpower reorg. Wow, that sounds like leadership. It drives home the point that many times a one-line bullet does not allow you enough room to articulate the gravity of the accomplishment. I don't know how you could have said all of that in one line. That bullet reads like leadership level, leadership level. Anything less than one, and that's a 2-line bullet. If you were to put this in a 1 line, there's no way you can configure it that I think it's a leadership level bullet. Just my thought. Now there's another example of the writing technique. It's kind of the reverse of the iceberg, when the whole iceberg is sticking out of the water. In this example, and we could have used a better opening, these are real bullets that I saw over the years. Lean-minded, process map tool issue, cut 10 steps, more efficient. Well, lean-minded, I have that scored as fluff. Looking at the performance scale, the bullet opens up with fluff, but then I can see some activity in there, process mapping, and then cutting 10 steps. But the result, more efficient. Did you just pull that out of the hip pocket? When I interviewed that supervisor, I asked this series of questions. Did the 10 steps, can you convert those into time saved? How many employees were involved in those 10 steps? Is it 10 steps per tool issue per employee? What were the total number of steps that were saved for the shift? How much time was saved? Can you convert that into a dollar value? Maybe people are coming in, and this is what was occurring on the flight line. People came in 45 minutes early to get through the line. Can you adjust the shift time? There's a savings. How about, can we benchmark this for a wider implementation to other bases? How about if it looked like this? Process map the tool issue. Cut 10 steps, which equated to 2 minutes per transaction. Saves 60 minutes a day. Shift lengths are reduced 30 minutes. This isn't the best bullet ever, but it's better than it was. You could add dollar value onto this. There's much more you could do. The main takeaway from the iceberg model is to have a balanced writing technique. You need to make sure that you spend enough words on the action component of the bullet to ensure we know what you're actually doing. Then on the result side, you need to do your homework and to make sure people know what the results were, and they should be rational, they should be objective, and they should be tangible. So remember the iceberg model. Make sure you have balanced writing.